So despite the look of me, despite me sitting in my room in my parents' house, despite me being a bit of a fucking loser, I have actually had girlfriends in the past, believe it or not. Believe it or fucking not, I have had a few girlfriends in my fucking lifetime. And unfortunately now I am single, so I have been on the end of some breakups. And I'll tell you right now that I have been on the end of some fucking messy breakups. And going through a messy breakup is not fucking good. But one thing that's even worse, that when you're going through a really messy breakup, is when it's fucking publicized. Is when you are an internet celebrity or a celebrity in general, and everyone on the internet fucking knows about it. And this one right here has been going on for fucking, what, like a year now, has it? XQC and Adept, they broke up ages ago. I can't even remember. I don't even know the timeline of them officially breaking up. Now, it wasn't like, you know, them breaking up was the first time. They were like, I know that their whole relationship in general was very toxic. From what I've read and from what I've seen, that over the years of when they were, even when they were dating, it wasn't a very stable relationship, and them two were very toxic. And obviously, when there's a toxic relationship, when people break up, it's going to get fucking messy, and it has been extremely messy. I remember I made a video about their breakup around about 4 months ago, and it was how, you know, Adept was just being an absolute psycho bitch, and basically she was just trying to say anything to just try and make XQC seem in a bad light, because XQC is a lot more popular than her and a lot more rich than her. And obviously, when this breakup happened, she came out on the dead end of things. She came out on the lesser end. And the reason why she started coming out on the lesser things is because she started to say so much shit about XQC. It's like she was getting desperate to make it out to seem like he was this complete fucking asshole. And I'm not saying that XQC is the nicest person in the world, because whenever there's a toxic relationship, there's always both sides. Even if majority of the time there's always, you know, two people who are toxic to make it a toxic relationship. Unless it's abusive and toxic, two different completely things. But when it's a toxic relationship, usually it's because both of those people are just not fucking made for each other, and it gets hot. So I'm not saying that XQC was a princess in all this and was, you know, a prince, and he was completely, you know, without fault. But when they broke up, Adept just kept fucking sending shit, kept putting shit online to make him seem it in a bad light. And then at some point, Adept filed a court case against XQC. Now, we don't really know too much of the depths about this court case. Like, I tried to find files. There might be files somewhere on the internet, but it doesn't really matter too much because the court case itself, actually, it never really went to trial. So Adept and, I don't know, her legal team supposedly put out this case to a judge. And the judge had a look at the case, and he basically said that there's not enough evidence to actually take this to trial. Pretty much saying to Adept, you're kind of, you know, coming out with some bullshit fucking case. Like the case that you're putting against XQC, or Felix, because, you know, that is his legal name, it is bullshit. And the case was pretty much dropped. Like I said, it never went to fucking trial. And the reason why I think that Adept did this is because without XQC, she is basically a fucking nobody. Like, honestly, Adept is a nobody whatsoever. If you have a look at her Twitch tracker, her views never really like got anywhere. They never really were like exponential. Yeah, she did average a decent amount of views, but only when they actually were dating. But before him, she wasn't. She was averaging a little bit of views, but nowhere near, obviously nowhere near as much as XQC. And even when they were dating, she still wasn't, you know, averaging as much views as him. She's not like that other couples where, you know, you got like Tens and Kaide, where it's just, you know, they are both their own streamers in their own retrospect and their own, and, you know, they do their own good content and they're both good to watch separately. Or, you know, recently, you know, Asu and Daph, they have broken up now, but even when they were together and now broken up, they are their own streamers separately, and, you know, there could have been something else between them, but they kept it to themselves, and they're both their own good streamers. But it seems that, you know, XQC was dating Adept, and Adept was more or less just piggybacking off his success, and she started to lose followers as well since their breakup. Like, she went from like 500,000 followers to now in like the 400k. I think she's lost like 50,000 followers in like just the last 6 months, and her streams aren't doing what they're doing worse than they were before. You know, she's supposed to be a full-time streamer, but from the views that she's getting and the subscriber count that she has, she can't be, you know, she can't make this a full living to be able to live off. We've obviously found that out by today. where this tweet came out yesterday from one of, because XQC has a few like fan pages on Twitter where it's just like his fans make this page and like report about everything that's going on, where he said that XQC's lawyer has filed for a motion to freeze Adept's assets relating to their court case. And we weren't 100% sure like exactly what this meant, but then there was a couple videos, and I'm going to show them back to back, that apparently Adept tried to sell. So within this court case, before I actually show the video, with this whole like case and like XQC and Adept breaking up, XQC owns a McClaren. But there has been this whole back and forth of whose it actually is, whose name the McClaren is. And Adept has had it this whole entire time that they've broken up. Even though the court case was settled, apparently the McClaren is a bit more of like a complicated situation. Whether it's XQC bought it and gifted it to her, or bought it and put it under her name, and technically, you know, even though he bought it, it's under her name, which makes it hers. The whole entire McClaren situation it's been a fucking mess. And even XQC said in a previous video when he won the court case against Adept and it never went to trial, even he said in a clip saying that like, oh, the McClaren is more of a complicated situation. And it's come out, and I'm going to show the clips right now, is that she's tried to sell his McClaren, and a juicer, which is XQC's fan base, who was actually at the dealership, messaged XQC saying, "Hey, Adept tried to sell your McClaren."
No, bro, I was gonna go to the Texas house for a little bit, for like just a couple days before I go to a new house, just to sort my stuff out. I'm not doing that anymore. Yep. Because I think how would you say? How would you call it?
What shirt is that?
Let's just say the other one has a little bit of a complete disregard of the law, if that makes sense. After the whole court stuff, my assets are protected by court order and whatnot. You know, like my cars or whatever. And somebody decided to not only use but also sell the car against the court orders. So if somebody does not care about the law, and it is what it is. I don't know to tell you. It is what it is. I don't even know what to say anymore. Every day I get a reminder. You can look at it. Look at it. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, listen. There's no doubt about it. That does look like it. It's quite similar. Yeah. If I do say so myself. Oh man.
So obviously when it comes to the court case, from the outside, it's obvious that Adept tried to extort XQC of some of his money, because she was claiming, like, during when that court case was going on, that at one point, like, they were married and that they've gone through a divorce, and now she's trying to, you know, basically get some of his assets. But obviously that never went to the court. That never went to trial. And obviously with the conclusion of the court case, from what XQC said in that clip, is that his assets now, due to the court case, are protected by the law. So they are protected. Anything that he's bought are protected from her. She cannot extort him of any type of assets whatsoever that he has paid for. And like I said, even if the McLaren's obviously more of a complicated situation, but it's technically still his asset because he's the one who bought it. Because let's be honest, Adept doesn't have enough fucking money to buy a McClaren. She never fucking did. And she's obviously trying to sell it because the bitch is broke as fuck. She doesn't do anything else. All she does is stream. She doesn't have an other job besides streaming. And like I said, her views have been dropping. She's been losing followers. She doesn't have many subs whatsoever. And she's actually gone on Instagram at times to beg for money, where she's like come out saying that, like, you know, I'm just gonna go to sleep, and then she says, here, send me some money to play a game with you or something. I'm bored as fuck. Obviously just trying to tell people, hey, send me some fucking money because I need it. Honestly, if I was her, she should just do an OnlyFans, even though I seriously doubt that, you know, people would actually want to see what's underneath there. But I don't know, maybe people would actually buy her OnlyFans. That to me is the only way that I think that she could get any money whatsoever. But she's obviously broke as fuck. She's broke as hell, trying to sell the McClaren, and I don't know exactly how much that McClaren is, but it is an extremely nice car. And McLarens in general, they're not fucking cheap. They are hundreds and thousands of dollars. Like, a McLaren, you can buy a McLaren for like $500,000. And obviously when you buy a car, obviously some cars, you know, retro cars themselves, they do increase in price. But generally, you know, recent cars, if you buy a car and you put mileage on it, it's going to decrease in price. So to me, I'm guessing that she sold the car for like $200,000, $300,000. But man, she's fucked. She is so dumb. As if she would go ahead and fucking do something like this. Like, she obviously knew the law, knew that she wasn't allowed to fucking do this, knew that no way, that one way or another, it was gonna come and bite her back in the ass. And like I said, is that someone who was at the dealership, who was a juicide, who knew of XQC, was the one who sent him the picture. But to me, this would have gotten around back to her either way. Because, like I said, the McLaren has been an on and off, like an ongoing situation with XQC for a long time. He's mentioned that it's a complicated situation. And to me, you know, if that was my car and my psycho ex-girlfriend was keeping it, I'd fucking want it back too. So I'd be fucking going all in, even though XQC doesn't necessarily need it, because the man is rich as fuck. But if I was still him, 100% I'd want that car back. 100%. And she's just a dumbass to go ahead and fucking sell it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this down below. Man, Adept is by far one of the most psychotic, dumb bitches I've ever seen on the internet. But that's it from me. Peace out.